Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about the new Thundercat album that just released, Distracted. This is like my second music review in like 3 years on this channel, so I'm a bit rusty, but we'll get back into it. I've heard two other albums from Thundercat. I heard It Is What It Is and Drunk, his last two. They were good, but in terms of albums, like, it was more just like the singles that stood out and like singular songs. Like Walk On By with Kendrick Lamar is an amazing song. I mean, Dragon Ball Do-Rag, amazing song. But I feel like he hasn't really put together an album where like it's banger after banger of good tracks. You know, his last two albums weren't bad in the slightest. I think they were good, but they didn't stand out to me like, oh my gosh, these were amazing. So he made Distracted, and I got the track list right here so we can talk about, you know, what I was thinking when I was listening to each track. And I was really excited for this. I do like Thundercat. I love like funkiness. I love, you know, what would you call him? Like neo soul, R&B. Yeah, definitely not. He hangs around people in hip hop like Kendrick, but definitely, if he does go into rap, it's jazz rap, definitely. And that, like, I love jazz rap. Like, dude, I'm a funkster myself. Okay, that's crazy, but no, I am. I love funk, and I love the style that he's in. So I was really excited to listen to this. And I heard the first song of the album, Candlelight, and I thought, decent little start, nothing crazy. The track didn't like blow me away. I was like, okay, decent little song. What's the next song? I heard No More Lies with Tame Impala. It was decent. Nothing blew me away. And then I heard She Knows Too Much with Mac Miller. And once again, it was more filler, like nothing to blow me away. And that was like, I feel like because it's Mac Miller, and rest in peace Mac Miller, he passed away, I feel like that should be like the biggest song of the album, and it didn't impress me. It was just really bland, really just it's just boring. Like there's nothing that keeps me there in the track. And so the first three I was kind of disappointed, but hearing his other album I was like, you know what, there's gonna be good tracks in here. And I did this to myself. Yo, this is actually a banger, and I am shocked because it has Lil Yachty on it. And bro, he actually cooked with his verse. His verse was actually insane. Like, I was re-listening to this album because I want to listen to albums a few times before I review them. I was really like, boom, 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 like, bro, I was dancing to this. This song is fire. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I want to hear. So the first three, there wasn't much there. And then I did this to myself. And also, by the way, in the next song, he had Funny Friends. He has A$AP Rocky. He has some big names in here. The Funny Friends song with A$AP Rocky still didn't do much. And then What Is Left to Say with the Lemon Twigs after that. That's 6 tracks in. A little something there. I had that one saved. But, dude, I'm telling you guys, after that, and this is 15 tracks, this was just filler. Like, there was nothing for me, at least. Remember, this is all my opinion. There was nothing for me, at least, that made this album stick with me at all. And I was disappointed. And also, let me bring up that he just does so much weird stuff. Like, he was meowing in, I think, Great Americans, the second to last track. And, dude, hearing the last part of this album was really rough. Like, dude, we started off okay. The songs weren't, like, bad. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and say any songs in this album were bad. A lot of them were just mediocre. But I did this to myself. That's probably my favorite song of the year so far. That was a really good song. And What Is Left to Say with the Lemon Twigs, that is probably those are the only 2 tracks I had saved from the whole album. But listening to this album, it's not like bad. It's not bad. But there's just nothing to keep you there. Like, listening to it, it's not like, oh my gosh, I gotta rip the headphones off. This is terrible. No, it's just like, okay, do you have a little something more you can add to this project maybe? It was just so, like, I don't want to imitate him, but it was just the same thing, like his singing with basic instrumentals the entire record almost. But it wasn't bad, and there were a few tracks off this, like I said, the one with Lil Yachty. Is it Lil Yachty or Lil Yachty? Bro, I don't like that guy's music, so that's why I was like I was nervous, bro, to hear that. So, but overall, this album, it was a disappointment because I feel like in the past, and like I said, already going into this, I knew what this probably would be, but I thought he could bring a little more. Like, looking at his last 2 projects, I was like, bro, Thundercat could bring a little more to the table if he just locks in, if he just makes all banger after banger. And this album was just bland song after bland song for me. Few good tracks, like I said. So that's why I'm not like, this is the worst thing ever. Overall, as an album, and I'll get to my rating or ranking in a little bit, but it was just really disappointing because I did expect more. And Thundercat is a guy, when I first heard, like, I think Funny Thing was the first song I heard from him, and I expect, when you hear a really good song from a person, you expect to go to that album or go to that artist and hear more bangers like that. But he really doesn't have that. He's one of the disappointing guys where he's more like a hit maker than someone who genuinely wants to put out, well, I'm not going to say he genuinely wants to put out good songs. Like, he's trying to make good albums, of course. But just from the singular great songs he's had, the albums are a disappointment in comparison. So I'm a little upset at this album, and I know the ratings are pretty high for this, but I just don't understand what people see. And bro, like, I love this genre, I do, and I love Thundercat. He seems like a cool guy. Like, his music, he has some good. His albums are good. A few of his albums are good. He has great tracks, great songs. But this album just seems so, like, filler to me. Like, listening to it, I feel like it was just like, okay, pick out what you like and then throw the rest of the album away. And that's really how I feel about this album. Pick what you like and then throw the rest away. If I had to give this a grade, I would probably say a 60 out of 100, like a D-. But it's all bloat with a few good tracks. But the bloat is not bad. It's just whatever, But yeah, that's my review on the new Thundercat album. Let me know what you guys want to hear me talk about next. Yeah, God bless. Peace.